Welcome in, H-Barbarians. I am the Crypto Bull God. And in today's video, we're going to discuss if the H-Barbarians are preparing to raise the sword of Atlantis to the crypto gods above to claim our rightful heir within the top 20 market cap ranking. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You gotta click that bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday for your crypto daily live stream, taking your crypto TA questions all in the charts. You can find me on Twitter, you can find me on YouTube, even the Instagrams, as well as TradingView. It is one word, Crypto Bull God. Just a quick disclosure that none of what I'm sharing is financial advice. I'm simply looking to educate and to help others through sound, logical, technical analysis. We're all big boys and big girls, so we can make our own personal financial decisions. With that being said, let's get into it. All right, guys, we're going to take a look at three charts today. We're going to take a look at two USD charts as well as the Bitcoin pairing. So first off, this is HBAR USD on the 3-day chart. Now, one of the pivotal things I wanted to point out here, which, by the way, if you do, if you're subscribed to the channel and you do follow the daily live stream, all in the charts that I do, you got to click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live. This is something we have covered on the live stream. This is actually really, really good to see from a bullish perspective and something that you might not otherwise pay attention to if you weren't really following this closely and didn't know what to look for from a TA perspective. Look at the red circles. We've been in this massive downtrend, it looks like since September of 21, guys, nearly 2 years. Nearly 2 years we've been in a massive downtrend. The green circle represents us breaking the downward area of resistance here. Okay, so we've been in this downtrend for a long period of time. Even when we made this large impulse up from January to February and we hit as high as it looks like about 9.8 cents, just shy of 10 cents, we still were not able to clear this downward area of resistance. This is a nearly 2-year amount of pressure that has been put on the price, which has now been broken convincingly. And as is oftentimes the case, once we actually break the downward resistance, something I also talk about on the live stream, it's very common to come down and back test this area, which we got really close to, and then continue moving up. It acts as a springboard, okay? So right now, my major areas of resistance is 6.2 cents. And again, we keep things stupid simple on this channel so we don't get too cute with price. I'm just pointing out nice round figures that are major areas of price confluence. You could say 6.3 or 6.1. I have 6.2 though. 6.2 cents is a major area. We then have around 8.4 cents. And then obviously as we start pushing up towards 10 cents, this is the last bounce high that we got here. We need to get above that. And I have an area, this is really the pivotal area, and that's why it's orange. Red is always for resistance, green is for support. But in this case, I'm trying to highlight the fact that getting above and staying above on a 3-day time frame with a candlestick, 10.8 cents will be major. Because as you can see, we have all of this price action below 10.8 cents, okay? But once you look above 10.8 cents, there isn't as much price confluence, okay? So 10.8 cents is really that first major area of resistance we want to get above and stay above. After that, it'll be 15.3 cents, and then we can come back and reassess price action. Now, when we look at price indicators here, another thing that I've been pointing out in the chart for a very long period of time is we see the relative strength increasing in price, and we've had this bullish divergence that existed in the RSI going back to May of 22 that ultimately played out in January of 23. We see that the RSI is still increasing in value. It's sloping up, which is great to see. The other thing that sticks out to me, beyond the fact on the 3-day chart that the stochastic RSI has crossed positive and once again is resuming up, the other thing, though, that really sticks out to me is this MACD. I love to see a nice, healthy MACD on a chart. You can see not only do we have the positive cross and we're getting above zero now, which is great, But also you can see that the green histogram has lit up dark green, which is definitely in the bull's favor. So nice to see that the price indicators are picking up as well. Now this is on a weekly. This is a higher time frame chart, and I want everybody to really appreciate what's going on in the price, because as we consolidate the candlesticks here, consolidate price action, have fewer candlesticks, we can really further appreciate, there's less noise, what's going on with the price here. Now this is actually not a double bottom, okay? This is not a double bottom what's going on here. This is actually a higher low that was created by HBAR by about 5%. But look what's going on with the RSI. You can see on the RSI, not only is the MACD starting to cross up, again, look at that histogram. Look at that histogram, guys. The histogram is starting to turn dark green. Once we close out the week, okay, I'm recording this on Sunday. We're going to close out these candlesticks in a couple hours here, less than a couple hours. Okay, this thing is going to get closer and closer to getting above our zero trigger line for the MACD. We haven't had that all the way since back in January of 21. Okay, so this is monumental for price. Again, these are the things that you need to know to look for that I am here to help you with. And I do go through these things very, very routinely on my daily live stream, all in the charts. Make sure you click the bell icon to know and receive all notifications to know when I go live. So really good to see that this MACD is picking up. The other things that I wanted to point to here, specifically, I wanted to look at this RSI. Really good to see what's going on in the RSI. There's two things I want to point out to you. First off, this is not bullish divergence, because technically we made a higher low at this price level and we were lower here. But the thing I would like to point out with the RSI is there's a lot of strength building in the RSI, because while it is fair to say that this is not bullish divergence, the RSI has gone about 50% higher on this, from this point, okay, from this point to this point. The RSI was about 50% higher here. Price was only about 5% higher here. So there's really, what that's telling me is, even though it's not bullish divergence, there's a lot of strength in that RSI that's appearing and showing that, hey, even though prices, we're about 5% off from where our bottom was here back in 2022, that relative strength index is 50% higher. There's a lot more strength being exhibited within the price. Stochastic RSI looks great as well. And the other thing I wanted to point out with the RSI, take a look at this red horizontal line here, okay, drawn at 50. 50 is an area on the RSI that I have identified as a major area to get above and stay above for price. Okay, it has caused us problems in the past. In particular, down in this region when we were down here. Once we cleared it, off to the races. Down in this region, we were bearish in here. Once we cleared it, off to the races. Okay, here, a little bit of a fake out, but you can see we're poking our head above 50 right now, which is very, very good for price. Now, let's take a look at HBAR BTC pairing here. This is on a 2-week chart. A lot of the price indicators are beginning to pick up on the 2-week and weekly, but I don't really want to focus on that for now. What I want to focus on is price action. Price action is king. And I want to speak to the fact that at the very least, what I'm anticipating over the course of the next coming weeks here, I'm anticipating HBAR to at least begin to push up to this area. Now that represents, you can see we have downward resistance. Why am I saying that? Downward resistance, right? So I at least am anticipating a roughly 50% move in the HBAR BTC relativity value. What does that mean in layman's terms? That means actually a better way to state it is HBAR, okay, my expectations over the course of the next several weeks, HBAR will outpace Bitcoin by 50%. Okay, my expectations for Bitcoin is for Bitcoin to move up in valuation. So let's say Bitcoin moves up 30% in price. This would be 50% in addition to the 30%. So you're talking about an 80% move in total for HBAR relative to Bitcoin. Now, the other interesting thing to take a look at on this chart, it's very common for chartists to take a look at. We can actually take a look at the fib retracement levels. So if we measure from the top of this relativity value all the way to the bottom here, and you can also see something else I neglected to point out at first, we actually double bottomed here. You can see on the relativity chart, and this is a major area of price confluence here, okay? But we double bottomed there, which is really great to see. I think this relativity value has bottomed. We're not going to go any lower than this line here. But the other thing that we'd want to look for from a fib retracement level, it's very common for assets to come back up to this 0.618, which is the golden pocket, to the 0.786. So ultimately, at the very least, okay, at the very least, while there is great potential for HBAR BTC to set new all-time highs by next year, which I think is very possible, at the very least, we're going to get a strong bounce, in my opinion, right up to this golden pocket between 0.618 and 0.786. Coincidentally or not coincidentally, there's also a lot of price confluence right in this range here. So I absolutely feel confident in making that assertion. Now, one last thing that I wanted to point out to you guys to try to level set if HBAR really could make a big push here towards getting into the top 20. We're going to do some real simple math. If we start popping up to that 10.8 cent level, okay, 10.8 cents, that's going to roughly put us at about roughly 3.7 million in market cap. Roughly 3.7 million in market cap. Okay, billion, excuse me, 3.7 billion in market cap. If prices in this area stay relatively flat, that would bump us up right into around this 24 spot, just shy of 20. So it's going to be that much harder for HBAR to really pump up an extra, given an extra 15% to take out ton coin at number 20. A 4.13, assuming static market supply at the moment, a 4.13 divided, let's do the math together, divided by the 1.87, that is going to represent an approximate 2.2 multiple times current price values, which at time of recording is 5.85 cents. That would bring us up to 12.9 cents. Now, interestingly enough, if we come up here, look at this area of price confluence right up here, 12.8 cents. So it's very possible if we even get a stronger impulse and the market stays relatively flat during that impulse and we start impulsing up towards 12.9, that could be the ultimate push to get us right up into this 20 ranking. Maybe we lose a little bit as other projects begin to run and we stay somewhere in between 20 and 25. But ultimately, if HBAR continues to exhibit more strength than a lot of these projects in this area here, we could definitively push our way up into the top 20 by the fourth quarter of this year. I think that is very, very possible. This is something I spoke to many months back in a prior HBAR video and something I'm increasingly beginning to feel more confident about. HBAR has maintained its positioning at number 31 here, and it's been in this 30 to 35 range now for a while. There are a lot of projects I support, like Harmony One, which have lost their market cap rankings when they got all the way up into the top 40 or 50. HBAR has done an incredible job of maintaining its market stance, which is saying a lot in terms of maintaining strength within the relative market. I think the probabilities are increasing that we could see this thing in the top 20 and maintaining a position within the top 20 by the fourth quarter of this year. We'll have to see if that happens. Guys, if you appreciated the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Drop me a comment. Let me know if you agree or disagree and why. And if you appreciated the content. And also make sure you click that bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday for All in the Charts Crypto TA daily live stream taking your TA questions. Until next time, everybody, NH Barbarians, spread awareness and let's all carry the education forward.
So what you gonna do, $dollar, on Crypto Bull God and his crypto maniacs? And the entire cryptocurrency market run wild on you.